Start now. I see the same picture just started seeing once you start talking about the buildings. I see you in let me touch you to make sure it's you. You know, it's like a clone of you, but the clone of you who is in this building in the middle of our universe. Basically, there is like a building, like a Akashi records in a way, and there's this throne and a Zeus sitting there.
Yeah.
And so it's like a hierarchical pyramid. On top is an architect who just basically moved into the universe, claimed it his, even though we are the true creators of it. And so basically he took over, installed the system of control, and all those things started coming.
Zeus did.
Yeah, because those Greek gods are just this all fake for us to believe in something higher.
Yeah.
And also, who's in control, not us. They're higher and more stronger and all this.
Yeah.
When in fact they just take our power, use us as
Yeah.
batteries, and
So
power
it's like
creation
it's
is
like
ours.
a web. It's like a web in the Akashic records, put over
Yeah,
the truth.
it's like a platform and crystal type building there. It looks like a typical government building with columns and
Yeah.
like all the operas or mayor's buildings are kind of pretty much the same building. And I see you were like in some room, and there is like bookcases, but also there are different kind of glass cubes, and they're big. And inside there are different structures made out of, it's like from above it looks like mosaics made out of different color crystals. Imagine like there's like lots of cubes around the room, and each one has a different picture made out of different shape crystals at the bottom. Pretty interesting. And then
what, like a screen, like or just pictures, just flat pictures?
I feel like they have, it's like special technology.
Yeah.
For that kept some formulas how to build different things, because it's like you have to know the certain pattern for building for creating, let's say, a star.
Yeah.
Or creating a planet. It's just different. Like that's what I feel those are for, because the books are different. Books are for lives, for scenarios, for lives that people have, and different timelines of those.
Yeah.
And it's like they keep all the information there. Without this information, they cannot function. They cannot continue, carry on. And then I feel like this building actually, so basically what they do, they storm into a universe, they take over. And not only them, then other forces take over. Like we have this Draco Reptilian Alliance group, and then there's Nordics or Nazis, and
the Greys.
right, the Greys, and they take over. And then they kind of unfold the system. It's like a book that unfolds, and we have the moon. They always need a command center. They need a support center, which is more like energy program center, projection of certain waves and reality interfacing, like the Saturn. And then there is military bases like the moon and Mars and Jupiter, and things like that. And but then when souls start getting up, like waking up, you know little by little kind of push them away, and they understand they cannot exhibit their control system anymore. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So because we figured them out, so they would just like kind of fold it up into a cube and just move it to a different, and they would tug them. I literally see like they would tug the moon
Yeah.
and install it in different like
Huh.
universe to do the same.
So are they packing up now then? Are they
Uh,
starting to put a load of
yeah, well, that's interesting that it came up actually because I was just like looking today this morning and I saw it looks like moon. It got disconnected. There's something about
yeah?
the
Because the
portal
moon,
systems with the moon. They're like
yeah,
shutting them down, and
yeah,
I feel like the connection that they used to have, like they had those rooms with computers that would connect with Earth, like via their system, satellite system, all that, and it's
yeah,
disconnected.
yeah,
Um, I still feel like Mars is pretty active still, though.
yeah, yeah. Because they're in the process of clearing it out, right?
Yeah, the moon, like I literally like since we're talking about it, I see like rooms when I walk inside, and there are empty rooms. Like they used to
Mm.
have a lot of shelves with test tubes, with DNA, the pods, with like energy bodies in them connected, or there's actually one room was a, like it looks like a big spherical holographic type container with souls inside, and they would have piping system all like draining soul energy to different directions from it. It's like a mechanical room. It kind of looked like that, and I don't see souls inside. Almost like people liberated their own selves from it in the
Yeah,
process.
yeah,
And yeah, when I started saying that I see your clone is like serving Zeus,
yeah.
and you're like walking in between, and I see like three clones that you have. That's the first one. The second one, the second one is like walking. It's like a portal. Um, like you can open portals, and I see you change. So I see like an eagle with the bright green head and the blue feathers and the
Mm.
beak. And I don't get like a negative anything from it, but this is your clone that is actually can change. It's like a shapeshifter because it shapeshifts into you, but then back into eagle, and the eagle has like a rope around the neck and a
Mm.
key, and it's a golden key. And you say that you have the key to stargates, portal systems, and key to the universe,
Mm.
the universal key. And keys are knowledge. It's like a symbolism for knowledge.
So in terms of clones, like, are you always connected to? Because do they take part of your soul to clone you?
Yeah, they took your DNA somehow. I just like heard you say cat people. The cat people. I see. Oh wow, I'm at some planet, and I see like lots of hybrids with human bodies, but with cat faces and tails. And you wear this kind of like shiny black suits with a zipper in front. It's like silver zipper.
Yeah.
I have a hard time distinguishing who's male, who's female. But I think the ones that have a little bit yellow, more yellow on the face, are males. Because the whiskers are bigger, like thicker or something. And females are thinner. They have more like a waistline and a thinner tail.
Mm.
And you have like a family system there, and there's little ones. So,
What, like actual cat size, but people with heads, cat heads?
yeah, like people, but the hands are more like kind of like half human, half cat.
Mm.
And there's no shoes, obviously, just like paws.
Yeah.
But then you fly on little like you got this thing. It looks like a skateboard without the wheels.
Like a hoverboard.
Yeah, and you're just like hovering all over the place. And the thing is, looks like the ground looks like energy over energy over energy, like carpets of energy of different color.
Mm.
Because if I it's like I cannot tell like it's a soil or is it water. Nothing like that is just energy, and the whole thing is
Like
just
rainbow colored energy.
yeah, like different
Was
colors. Yeah, it's different colors. It's patches. And
Yeah.
it's more
Okay.
like a camouflage of different colors, and it's mostly like a blend. And it blends in and blends out, and it reacts to the vibrational frequency that you carry,
Mm-hmm.
because you're a lot of it's like a hive mind type thing, because
Yeah.
when
We're all connected.
somebody
Yeah.
right when somebody
Yeah.
thinks something like um good invention for the planet, everybody picks up and they start building it out of your thought. Then it just like you build a
Yeah.
castle, you can build whatever you want like that.
Yeah.
um,
And do you think on Earth we'll be able to kind of work like that in future?
oh, you just said that, and I see 2027 on Earth. And I see people rather kind of like they're walking, but walking on air, like it's weird. But I do see green, and I do see like a lot of, I want to say, oxygen around, and green and forests and nature.
Yeah.
But we don't really step on grass because we know grass is breathing and talking, so we don't want to ruin it or hurt it. So we're hovering over it, and we also have like around us like around holograms,
Mm-hmm.
and the our thoughts that we think are projected into the screens around us, and we're kind of like in everybody's in his own world watching
Mm-hmm.
his own thoughts. Like it's a weird looking thing because everybody looks like in a bubble of his own reality, and it's projected on the screen. And if you walk outside of your bubble, you can see each bubble has a different color, like
Mm-hmm.
pink ones, blue ones. It depends on what DNA you have.
Yeah.
And that's how people like, if you find a pair that you resonate with, you kind of like two bubbles form one bubble, big bubble. They merge.
Really? How
And
do you
then
know?
if you want a baby, like you merge your energies, and here's you got a baby like that, and you decide which you want, a boy and a girl, and that's what you get. That's what I see they do.
Really?
Yeah.
In like 27?
I got 2027 like I see it
Really?
now. Mm-hmm.
What do you know what color I am?
That's a certain timeline though. It's a certain
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah.
Pink what came to me. Pink was the bluish kind of sides, like pink and blue. Pretty. Pink inside, like an essence of your soul, and blue outside. And that's what you also say that you can change it. You can create an emotion that would turn you yellow if you wanted to.
Okay. So yeah, okay.
It's totally like imagination. It's like a world of a child who doesn't know that he lives in a physical world, or a soul that doesn't know limits.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you come from this cat's world, though. Clearly
So
see
that's
how you came from there.
so
You
that's where I
also,
originate from.
Yeah, and also it's like it's not what we think. Oh, the phelinoids that came to Lyra after original humans left it. Not like that. It's a totally different. It's kind of like uh, in that direction of a blue sun further. Kind of
Hmm.
like it's a different system. You just don't. You're not like lions at all. You're more like cat. Not like
Hmm.
lions looking.
So I've nearly always had cats. Um,
Really,
yeah.
it's funny.
Um, and I've always been very connected to them. So for the last 20 years, I've had at least one cat.
Mm.
Um, but recently, the other cat, my last cat that died maybe 6 years ago, is coming up a lot. I was just wondering about her.
Yeah, because I mean, she showed up. I see her as a kitten, like
Mm,
a little. Came up in a kind of like electric blue body, looking at me, very kind of look little face like this.
yeah.
And she's got interesting, like ears pointy, and there are little stars twinkling on top of the ears. And she said that she went back. There's like a Milky Way there in between. It's kind of like I see your planet, and then there's a Milky Way, and this kitten became one of the little stars, blue stars in the Milky Way.
Hmm.
And I feel like those stars incarnate on Earth as animals a lot. They're just what they do.
Yeah.
And then, because she's saying to me that he that I just like that they don't get us. They cannot catch us. The reptilians who guard the access points, the portals to Earth, they cannot catch us. We just teleport. And so we feel safe to incarnate on Earth. It's a special experience related to emotions. That's how we feel. We learn that way to
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
So, but it's like I want to call him she, but it goes back and forth. Probably because it's like a star is a neutral gender,
Yeah.
because it's a blue star. But blue is a young star, little. And I also feel like you've been a bird. You've been a bird on some planets. Because the seagull thing was the key.
Yeah.
It's like a universal guardian, that's what you said.
Yeah. Like, so I was an eagle.
Like a wise eagle. And you're saying that they used the symbol of eagle as as a metaphor for being wise and clever,
Mm,
but mostly like that because they tricked people into believing that they are free of interference,
mm,
but people are controlled, and that's why on the flags and all the symbology you see eagles a lot
yeah.
because they're kind of they hold the energy with their wings, especially when they're spread out. They kind of hold you hostage or enslaved or things like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like you you embody this idea of being fast and like moving rather in a gracious way through because you like to fly as a bird, you like to sneak around like a cat, and kind of a rather like energy, it's like a flowy energy, that's how I see you. And you, even when you shapeshift like slowly, but then, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like soft lines all the time. Mm, yeah. So you have something to do with the portal systems all around different planets, like the you're showing me Saturn rings has lots of portals, and then Jupiter has lots, and Earth has a lot of them too. And as a bird, you kind of like, and you say, well, this is the clone, but the clone who escaped. Wait, you escaped. You escaped some lab South Pole. There's
The
a
bird,
laboratory.
the bird has escaped.
Yeah, it's like when you were. I kept seeing age 5 to 7. They would come. I'm trying to see who would come. I see like Pleiadian type beings would come and take your DNA, because it's like Pleiades here and your planet is over there. There's like I see points, and they would be interested in your DNA to create hybrids for their different missions type thing, because they create groups of different creatures with different abilities to complete some missions. And I see you being 6 now, and they took your DNA like second time. I think they took it like literally 3 times, like the age of 5, 6, and 7, and that's when they created those 3 hybrids. But this is the second one I'm talking about, the hybrid that turns into a bird and like into human with bird features. And I see South Pole, and there's like underground facility. And I see Pleiades in charge of it. Like Nordics or Pleiades. I mean, they look the same. And they're actually the same group. They just kind of, there's divisions of this Aryan type beings, blonde with blue eyes. And they are walking around this facility they have strange things. They have like it's like a suit, but it got triangles all over, like a white and navy stripes, and triangles go like everywhere, like big, large. With the belt is some technology. It changes color.
Like to stay in different dimensions.
Something like this, yeah. Yeah, it keeps the body kind of stable, certain vibrational level or something when you walk through a portal. And they're the ones who created. I mean, there is lots of tubes. There's hybrids there with different features. I see one looking like a wolf type being with long claws, like huge claws, and only 4 fingers with the tail on the back. But then he has human features also. And I see them. They actually try to transport you. Where did they? To Venus. They try to transport you there. I see there's some sort of underground facility on Venus. They do some experiments. They have some specific technology to enhance some abilities of the beings. It's like they sold you out or something, or it's like a barter exchange, because they received some big machine type thingy with lots of tubes in it. It's like technology they exchange. And on the way you just escaped because they put you in some sort of container and you like opened it. And I don't even understand how it works
So,
because you just cut through the container, made a hole, opened it up through metal. You literally change the molecular structure of metal and open it like this, like a rubber, and walk through it. And just kind of zoomed out and started flying around on the orbit of different planets. Like you can go to orbit of Mars, Saturn, anywhere you want, and they cannot really get you because you go into invisible mode too, because you can do it. There's a scanning system in those rings, not only the portal system but scanners. Whatever soul or ship gets close, they always know. They check out parameters and everything, scans through that ship and know what beings are on it. They connect immediately to them and know exactly what to do. They wouldn't let anybody in unless, or they would let somebody in and then they capture them. Depends. And the third clone, the laboratory. I see like Mongolia. That's what came up. I see some like mountains, lots of mountains, and they're all hollow. And there are so inside the mountains there are lots of spacecrafts. The mostly triangular ones. I see military and reptilians walking in between. And then I see some. It's almost like escalators, but they're not quite. It's like a line that moves you quickly, like you don't even realize how quickly it moves, just like you are at the different level immediately, just stand on it. Which is interesting because I usually see elevators. It seems like they transport some cargo there too down that way. And I see you like, it's almost like wheeling some, like containers on the wheels. Or some, I don't know what it is, but you're like pushing it. I mean, not you, your clone, but it looks like you in some kind of like suit, kind of almost like a FedEx kind of suit, like brown color. And there are lots of clones there. They just know what to do. They
so,
basically.
so has everyone been cloned in some way or another?
Most people have clones. Most people I see, and they don't even play any part in SSP projects or anything. They're not involved, but they would still have clones because the whole system seems to be working based on the soul's experience. And also there's only this many souls. What they tell us, the world is populated, there's this many people. It's not really true.
Yeah, because
There's
we're divided, because our souls are divided. Yeah.
right, and they put like little parts in each clone,
Yeah.
and just to be used for,
Yeah,
it's like a
for the
slave
life
system,
force. Yeah.
right?
So, what percentage do I have left of
Well,
my?
those are like 14. So basically, all three take 14% of your soul. The rest is
Okay.
yours. So you have the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
But what we can do, we can just usually the thing is, once those clones are dead, or start falling apart, because they don't last long, they need to make new clones. The soul just gets magnetized back to the original soul because they don't really feel like they belong to those bodies anyway. It's like
Okay.
you would pull something organic into a robotic body, and that organic doesn't
Yeah.
feel comfortable.
Do you think as we go along that people will get more and more of their souls back?
Yeah, yeah, it's happening all over the world because so many people are realizing that at a very fast.
Yeah.
It's like, see how fast it's all happening with all this, you know, people getting the shots and all this,
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the same time, there's so many people waking up at the same
Yeah.
fast speed.
Yeah.
It's always like in balance type
Yeah.
thing.
So it's like a consolidation.
Right. Some are just not ready to
Yeah.
see the truth, and others are so ready and eager, so they get liberated quickly. Um, yeah, you unplug. It's like you have this thing in your chest. It covers like your heart, like it goes like here, it goes down to a solar plexus, and like a plate with, I see like your soul shining through, and it seems like they try so hard to cover it, but the Pleiadians show up like right here to the left. There's a boss. He's like tall Nordic type, tall white, and he has this kind of like blue suit with silver. Goes like line like this, circle here, and line down, like a cent watch. I don't know what it's called. And he's a male, and the other two are male and female, like a couple, but they're much shorter. They're more like Pleiadian looking, but they have the strong features of it's like I feel there's phelinoid race in them, like I really do. Let me touch them. There's like 13% in each one of from phelinoid race. I think it's like they got the DNA from the phelinoids, and they like that idea, so they try to get yours too. Cat, you call themselves cat people. That's what you do. And but you're very advanced in technology, but you're also advanced in spirituality.
Yeah.
It's like 50-50. Because you're really like so gentle with nature. You're afraid of touching anything, hurting anything. So you just like hover around and talk to everything and just like respectful to everything alive. And don't let anybody, there's like a bubble of protection around your planet, that you're very careful. Like if you do negotiations with any other race, you would rather do it away from the planet, so to preserve it in case this race is not benevolent.
Yeah.
So I see like you would park your spacecraft in the space, and another one just kind of park together next to you, and you create like a bubble, and then you would negotiate something, and you just separate and go back to your like that. Um, so back to this. So you unplugged. There's like cords here. You unplugged the cords for your clones. And what I understand that whenever the clones are done, when they expire, um, your soul parts are gonna be, because I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like your higher self or yourself in a higher dimension. I feel it's talking to me and saying, I'll take care of those parts. I'll cleanse them. I'll decontaminate them, and just like I'll pull them up. because the problem is when you put together parts here, you may end up with more attachments or contamination that you had before, because you're perfectly
Okay.
perfect function in this body with this. And it's almost everybody got the same thing going on. Like
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me, it's the same thing. I'm
Yeah.
not completely whole, but
So when people are incarnated, um, there are some which are incarnated as new souls. Is that right? Where they come in
yeah,
without any past.
yeah, it depends. Some people they just, so the planet, the mother planet, usually gives birth to little souls.
Yeah.
It's like a mother cell, and from there are little parts of energy separating from the essence of each planet at a time, like little droplets. And these are little souls, and they usually reside on the surface of the planet unless they're taken by some evil force, to be used for something. And sometimes they just take young souls or young stars and throw them into incarnations on Earth. And that's when you see those people, they're easily programmable, they don't understand what they're doing here. Some of them are stronger than the others. If they're not strong, they would like follow the crowd and get programmed. If they are strong in nature, it's all about the DNA, then they would just try to resist. Like, like in my case, it's my first life here. I just don't feel good here. I mean, I kind of like understand now that in the beginning it was very hard, because like when I was
Yeah.
little, I would tell my parents I don't belong here. It's not my place,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it just confused half of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
It depends, and some people can live 15 lives and still act like a young soul. It all depends whether you understand the experiences you go through and make it your kind of knowledge and turn it into wisdom.
Yeah.
And some people would have the experiences repeated multiple times and still would not get the
Yeah.
idea of what it was all about.
So do you know how many
35.
lives? 35.
Yeah. And but you're wise though. And this 35 lives, I feel like they are. I'm looking at them, and they're pretty much the same. It's like they printed one life. They created little variations, but it would go one after another, one after another, like this. And then like going into circular motion, and you became wise because you would go through the same experience multiple times and would know if you make this decision what the consequences would be, and in the same situation type thing. That's what I feel was different people in this different
Okay.
lives. Because I'm also, it looks very interesting in your case, because it almost reminds me when the person has only one life, but they make it seem like you have a lot.
Okay.
And all they do is they put a software program with one kind of scenario, and that scenario sprouts multiple variations on that scenario. That's what I want to tell you, that
It's
it
like,
looks like it. It's like an imprinted frame that goes to eternity. That's what I, looking at you, it feels kind of like that.
um, so multiple timelines happening.
At the same time,
Yeah.
but the life is almost like the same, with the
Yeah.
same events, the same place of living. I don't see different, like I usually see like different frames for a person, and then subconscious shows me, like draws my attention, okay, this life, talk about this life, and then would explain your fears or your emotions or your programs in this life. And with you, I just like all I see clearly is this cat planet. You want to go there, and that you are just like very adaptive. You know how to adapt. At the same time, you like to observe. You like to kind of find a good spot in life and like observe and keep yourself safe and kind of comfortable. Just like a
Yeah.
cat on a warm spot or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's
Well,
what
I
comes.
am always very jealous of my cats. I've said quite a few times I wish I was a cat.
That's funny. Yeah. So
So what do you see with my cat that I have now?
the cat you have now. It came to me. It looks like gray color, that beautiful
Yeah.
gray color.
Yeah.
Uh, it turns into. It shows me that it's like that animal not the lemur, the one that sleeps a lot on the
Uh,
tropical kind of
yeah.
like
Sloth.
this huggy like a
Sloth.
bear was long. Yeah, sloth, right? It just shows me a picture like it's like that. It likes to
Yeah.
sleep
You're
and
like, yeah.
relax and um translating to me good life, enjoying it. Have
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And do you think that we will be able to communicate in future? Will she stay around long enough?
Yeah. Yes. And I'm actually you are communicating.
Yeah.
You know what I see what you do at night? You just take the cat energetically you go back to your planet.
Because she sleeps with me a lot.
Yeah, you together go. Like you hold her and you zoom right straight to your planet.
Hmm.
And you go to your place and you have this interesting, fascinating houses. It looks like a round dome, but that's like different levels of it, but it's round. And then you walk inside and everything's round, like literally there's just kind of cushion like things,
Yeah.
and they're red and orange, everything red and orange I see, and mostly orange, and it's soft, and that's where you sleep.
Huh.
You don't eat anything, like you're just there to energetically connect closer in the
Hmm.
closed enclosed space, and you energize each other and you exchange ideas telepathically. There's something about the energetic connection of similar souls. That's why you need those buildings. Those like charging pots. Those
Hmm.
not really like day and night,
Yeah.
sleep at night. No, I mean, it's always day there. There's no night.
Hmm.
But that's what it kind of looks like a family, but you share the same ideas of creation. And
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting because sometimes you just create like a wormhole and just go find a space in between universes, and you sprout a new idea, and it creates like a bubble of reality, and you can create a different platform with different creatures and like a world. You can plant whatever trees, whatever you want, like create
Hmm.
anything. And those it's imagine like a bookshelf, and you have an idea, you write down the idea on a sheet of paper and you put it like on the shelf, and you
Hmm.
store it. It's like a storage area, and those bubbles of creation you create for the future to be used for maybe universe or on an idea of a planet. You want to see how your little creatures interact with each other because you create
Hmm.
different ones in your imagination.
Yeah.
Now, I see like you really like bright colors put together, lots of them different. Because you created some sort of creature. It looks like a llama, but it has like a different bright colors and go like this in waves and
I
multiple.
love llamas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like multiple. It's got a lot of fluff and but it's
Yeah, I like bright
multicolored.
colors. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
um, yeah, cool. Uh,
So let me see. So let's see if you have any uh implants or whatever. It's like you have some flying, it looks like like frisbee.
hmm,
And you don't have like fixed implants except for this plate that
hmm,
was connected to the clones, and they would usually receive. It would influence you actually emotionally and
yeah. Is it?
yeah,
This is now like my body.
yeah, and
Mm,
you're taking this out. When you take it out, it gets soft,
mm-hmm.
like paper type. And you just put it. You created a table in front, and I see you put it on the table. And you take some like it's like a disc out of your a head, but the disc is it's like you created it by yourself because you wanted to remember the life as a cat, and you were missing it so much. You put like all the knowledge, all the experiences from there into this disc and put it in your head, so you get an ideas and knowledge from there, from that life for yourself. You take it out too because you say that, oh, I can actually create new stuff. um, there's all this thing that another one. Yeah, there's multiple little discs. I think those are put in by that commander, tall white commander.
Mm.
I look at him. He's got this. When I touch him, he turns into some crazy thing. So it's like I see this blonde hair to the shoulders, and then when I touch him, his face gets like black metal. It starts melting, like
Yeah,
literally melting.
yeah.
It's like a robot thing.
Like Terminator.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, looks pretty ugly. And then I see the ears like headphones, kind of like everything is fake. It's just like they put the skin over it looking like humanoid type, but inside it's all robotic.
Okay.
Um, you're asking. So it took like 4 different discs from the it's like where the uterus is on the back, and then stomach, third one, and the fourth one is just like on top of the back.
Mm.
And there's like a little tiny yellow energy cord on the along the spinal cord to the right, and that is like it goes and connects to the that station that South Pole facility that one of your
Mm.
clones escaped, and
Mm.
then it like gives energy there. And I see like 23% of energy from you, your vital energy goes there. So you
Ah,
like unplug this cord, you take it out. So you got this plate, the cord, the 4 of those discs.
so I took them all out.
Yes, and the one from the head.
Mm.
And you just like draw portal, like a big large door. And you just put the whole table in there. With it, close it, you create like a latch on it. And you ask, I'm telling you to ask if you have any contracts. How did you get here? I'm going back to see how you got here because it seems like you went you had a meeting. Like I told you, you would like fly out of the system to have a meeting. You had a meeting with those. They're like Nordic and Lyran hybrids, that like those lion,
Yeah.
humanoid. And I see they're telling you that you need to see something, something's happening in the other corner of the universe, and that's where the Earth is. And you're just flying like to their spaceship, and their spaceship looks like it's not a triangle, it's an interesting shape. It's like the molded kind of like round angle and goes like this, and it molds like this. And yours was round, was a big like energy kind of top, which can go down and up. I don't know why it's done this way. I think it's just something about the space, and the portal opening or going through. So you're like next to each other, and then you just get into, and then I see you sucked into their. It's like they suck you from your spacecraft. It's just some technology I cannot understand. Your spacecraft gets stuck in the portal type thing, and they suck you out, or something like this. Because all of a sudden you end up on their spacecraft, and then I see your essence in the tube in the South Pole again facility. It's like experimental place for experiments and stuff and cloning. And from there they started. They threw you into this incarnation. It's literally now it says first, but those 35 is just like overlays of the incarnation that you have here. They created multiple timelines that they literally stretched your essence into all those timelines. It's
Okay.
it's like you take liquid something and you plop it, and the little things splatter into different lives. That's how I see they did it. It's like some sort of technology.
But this is the nefarious side, though, right? They took me to the South Pole.
Yeah, yeah, and they just literally they don't even have an actual contract with you. It's all on their computer screen because it's like when you got sucked into. So basically, you agreed to go with them. That was your agreement. Let's go see, and you're like, okay, let's go see. They catch you by, that's a hook. They got you by curiosity.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.
curious. And
Cat.
then, right, yeah, let's go. And that's what happened. So they don't really have a contract except the file on you with the information that you're telling them, okay, well, show me and erase it. And you actually kind of say, okay, well, let me do it myself. And you just connect to the computer with your mind, and you just explode that file. I see like it just makes this noise and it's gone.
Yeah.
So let me see the DNA. 84 tiny, tiny little strands of DNA all enter. It's like a big braid thing. 84. Twisted, twisted. Interesting structure kind of formed. Kind of like yellowy with glow. It's yellow with orange glow around it, like an aura is orange. Kind of like your place and your planet. It's your DNA, mental, emotional bodies. Well, mental was connected to that plate, and emotional. basically emotional more, but then they're connected anyway, it's all together. So I'm just telling you that you can cleanse it any way you want. And you create like it's almost like a mirror in front of you, and you say that the mirror image of you, it's gonna take all the contamination into that, and now just throw out the mirror. And you did. It absorbed everything. You opened a large, like a big door portal, and put it in there. Wait, once you did that, there's 3 very tall beings that look like they're made out of light showed up. Let me see, what are those? They came from their left side of like arm when you were cleaning yourself. They're very tall, they look like stick figures, but they say that they're masters, that you had to listen to masters. Like, to make you understand how they look kind of like angels, but they're stretched out and weird looking sun figures. Well, they say that, but she was asking for help. We came when you were 18. Oh, I feel like they would make your like spasms in your stomach or something, spasms in your body. Because like I touched one and I almost felt like that's what they would cause you, and then they would cause like spirals of thoughts that you wouldn't want to think, or and they would feed off of it because you would get frustrated and try to push them away because you're also sensitive. It's like you can walk through 20 people and absorb all their thoughts at once. And I see your subconscious would always try to like catch them and kind of filter out things. And but you kind of learned how to get rid of them, and they basically came to you. I feel like when you were like that age, 17, 18, thinking about some situations, trying to find some solutions. But it's rather interesting because you were not consciously aware, but it's like subconsciously they came to you and offered you a helping hand of sneaky way. And it's like 3 in 1. They kind of blend together, and then it's interesting with you, it's a lot of doubling and tripling thingies,
Yeah.
So you just say you don't need the help anymore. It's like you had a thought that you needed help. That's why they came from, They came onto you just wanting it. For a second, that's all it took. So you just push them out, you take them out. Because they were taking like 32% of your energy. It's pretty much. It's quite a lot.
Yeah. So up until what point was?
From that age, 17 and a half, 18 to up to now. But it would be like they would give you periods of time where it would be fine, but then something again would come up, and then they would just drain you.
Yeah, because my like I feel like I'm getting my energy back now.
Yeah. And well, now they became real small after you disconnected from them as you were pushing them through the portal. They all got tiny because that's what happens. They absorb your energy. They can grow in shape, and they can shape shift into something beautiful and make you think that they're higher than you and more powerful, but they're just using your energy. So I think we did. So you took all the implants. all the little things. This is really funny, you know what I see now? You turned into this cat person, like a cat woman, and you're trying to catch not even catch, like you're playing with lightning bugs, you know? They light up as they, and you're
Yeah.
like, eh,
Firefly.
eh. Yeah, fireflies, right? I
Yeah.
forgot the name. In your energy sphere, you created that. You say it's kind of fun. You like to jump. Yeah, you like to stretch as you jump. Funny. They're just very playful. So, yeah, this is it. And I was trying to go into any of your lives that the number came out up, and I see zero, like zero. There's like nothing there but this one. So
Yeah.
those were just a program. There's
Okay.
no real thing.
Okay.
So, well, that's it. I mean, you can ask. You can, can go anywhere if you want to see something like more specific. Because I see you
Um,
clean. I don't see any more contamination of anything.
okay. Yeah, because I've been struggling with. I mean, I literally just came from the doctors and I'd had a blood test. I've been having blood tests every 3 months. And I've been trying out different diets. And I was really good on fruit only. But the psychology of staying on fruit only is really hard. So it would be interesting to know how I can bypass the psychology of my food habits, I guess, to give myself more energy.
Yeah, it's like with you. You're so used to not eating anything. It's like your body rejects basically any food. But there's also mental programs that you have to eat,
Yeah.
and certain food provides certain vitamins that are necessary for the body to function, right?
Mm.
Yeah, but I see like you're one of those people who can literally live off of the sun's energy. Um, whatever real energy of the real original sun we get through those holes in the dome, that you can
Yeah.
live off of it. But for you, I feel like I see leaves. Like you would benefit from just eating leaves and fresh.
And
Like there's
greens.
mostly salad. Yeah, type green salad.
Yeah.
It was maybe berries in it.
Hmm.
Things like that.
Yeah, I think I feel best on a vegetable based diet.
Right, like broccoli type maybe, like not as much cabbage, but mostly leaves because you need something real
Mm.
light.
Yeah.
You're very light. You're like, like on that planet, you're hovering, kind of flying everywhere, and you want to be jumping around. You don't want to feel heavy.
No, because I have, I mean, I'm feeling really light right now, um, which is good.
Yeah.
Because I've just been told that I need iron and my vitamin D is really low.
Yeah,
Uh,
vitamin D you get from the sun. Like that's probably why I mentioned the sun.
yeah, yeah. I've been doing a grounding exercise every morning with uh, protection after.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I uh, imagine my cord going into the center of the earth and light shooting from the earth, and I've been imagining that um, the the what the what is it? What has been covering the sun? I imagine that shattering or falling apart. I do that every day because I understand that if we were all to do it, then it would disappear, right?
Yeah,
And I do it whilst looking at the sun with my eyes closed.
that's nice. Yeah, that's basically what you need, but I feel like if you eat veggies, you'll get, iron you
Yeah.
need. Um,
Yeah. So start with greens and
yeah, I also feel like your body is different, and you don't, because I see, I got the information from your subconscious that you can't really compare yourself to other human bodies that other souls have. Um, it's it's not about the percentage for you. It can be different. The numbers are really rather not. The numbers can be different for everybody.
mm,
It's rather listen to your body and
yeah.
give yourself a variety of vegetables and feel like which one you need
Mm,
and follow your feeling. Do you feel good? If you feel good, then don't focus on numbers.
yeah.
But that's what your subconscious tells me, that it's you have a unique body, different from others.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's an average too, what they compare to. I mean, to be honest, like I'm just kind of like looking at all these tables and classifications now, and I totally understand they're rather created to make you nervous and to make you manifest malfunction of your body. So basically, it's not that you lack something and you go to the doctor and they tell you, oh yeah, you lack something, but rather than you don't lack anything, but you take a test and the doctor tells you, oh, you lack this, and this is going to be the consequences, and as the doctor tells you all the
Mm,
list of consequences of side effects of
mm,
you missing something in your body, you would create that.
yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like it's the opposite,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Okay. I mean, interestingly enough, I mean he's a great doctor. He's not a normal GP. Um, uh, but yeah, everything that changed in my last blood test had to do with food that I'd taken on board. It's like filling a hole, but it had um, yeah reverted my uh, blood back to kind of previous to when I was eating really well. Um, but yeah, I mean, I saw exactly why I did it. I guess it's like filling a gap, maybe.
yeah, it's like yeah, like you had something missing in your
Yeah,
life, and then you would just fill it up with food. Yeah,
yeah,
it happens a lot to people.
yeah. So I can just let that go, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like you really love being in nature and connecting with air and to
Yeah,
touching the plants, grass, trees, whatever. You feel you merge in
yeah,
to
yeah,
natural state. And you fill yourself up with that energy, then all of a
yeah,
sudden
yeah,
feel
yeah.
that.
So I can do that more and make that more of a uh, instead of food, just like
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, that makes sense. And in terms of um, waking up, so it's been like 14 months now of just absorbing information like non-stop. I can't stop. Um, And I've been collating it. And then the other day, I finally put together a feed where I can kind of let it out there. Anything that I'm really that I feel will really help humanity, I guess.
You're like a connector through the nature and the people who are involved in helping out the souls who are incarnated into parts of nature. I literally see you like on a big lawn of grass. It's bright green, and I see this little tiny, it's so cute, the orange kind of red hair bunny. Yeah, I see you playing with it. It's such a round, tiny face like a baby bunny. Uh, it
like a
seems like
little,
a.
like a guinea pig cross bunny.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like that. Red hair, like it's so
Yeah,
cute, the color. Um, yeah, it's like you're more you're more the one who came here to protect nature in a way, to show people
yeah,
the beauty of it.
yeah. Because I mean, ultimately, I'd love to have a fruit forest or a forest that people can be in.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's the timeline I see us. I keep seeing the same timeline, like people walk around and there are huge trees, and there's
Yeah,
like oranges, apples, all kinds of fruit, like they're huge.
yeah.
And then I looked at one apple, and I remember seeing in my vision, like I'm thinking, like if you cut it, like 20 people can have dinner out of one apple. Like why are we so, like we don't need money system, nothing. We can just
No,
eliminate all the systems.
yeah,
Mm, yeah, but that's who you you kind of the same way, I guess.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Because I think we can exist in perfect harmony with nature.
yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. You love just it's like you love to the air, the freshness of it, the oxygen, everything.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's another thing actually. I have sleep apnea apparently.
Mm,
So I wear a
that's
mouth guard at night.
because I see you like you're like in nature. You keep,
Yeah,
thinking she
yeah,
really loves that air, the feeling of
yeah,
going through yourself.
yeah.
Well, the sleep apnea, it was related to the implant here. It was like a
Mm-hmm.
big plate. It was affecting, and there was a disc on top, like right here on
The
top
middle
of your
of my
back.
back. Yeah,
Yes, you took it
because it
out. Yeah.
feels. Yeah, yeah, good. It feels light. Okay, so you think it might just dissipate?
Yeah, it's gonna go away. Hmm. Yeah, it's usually, for some people it goes away overnight. Like I've known
Mm,
people who had like terrible back pain, and then right after session it disappeared. 75% of pain
yeah,
disappeared and it was gone in a few days. And other
yeah,
people it's little by little. As long as you don't focus too much on checking on it, you will
yeah.
just
Let
you
it
would
fall
even
away.
forget that you had
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Because I've got this point in the lower back, and it feels like it's just a presence that's always there. And no one, I was going to an energy healer for quite a while, and she tried the last time I went, and she said there was a block stopping her from getting rid of it. Um,
There was some energetic cluster in there.
mm,
I'm just trying to see. It's like it's like granulars, like little tiny balls, energy balls forming a big cluster, as you said. But I kind of had to dig for it. It's layered over.
mm.
somehow interesting because it's like a miniature portal in your body, in your energy body.
Okay.
What's it connected to? I thought it's connected to the Zeus.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because they would read off your, they would read your, it's like, it's hard to explain it. Imagine your blood system, right? It carries information.
Yeah.
It's like a system, and then your energy and your energy bodies, because they're layered, it
Yeah.
carries information also.
Yeah.
And then there would be like little granules would absorb granules or whatever, and the little balls, they would absorb the information, forming like this little particles, and all these particles are bunched up together, and it's like a hard disk in your body type thing that would collect information throughout your life. And this hard disk, you know what they did? It's like, because I usually see the chakra overlays, right?
Yeah.
But in your body, there are no chakra overlays. But all these, there's 7 of those balls, and I feel like they are, instead of like overlaying and dissecting your body into segments,
Mm.
they just put it all into this little, the cluster of 7 pieces together instead. Because I
Huh.
even forgot about this mention about it because I didn't see them. I thought maybe you removed the chakras already, but that's what it is. And it's
Okay.
like it's sitting kind of rather, just like bodies are layers and layers and layers, and you kind of have to open them up to see. And then I opened them up as you were talking. I see this little thingy sitting right there. It's like a
Mm.
tailbone kind of like area right there. Mm, take it out. It's like a bowl that of like a slime that kids play with, kind of like it
Yeah.
turned into a slimy time thingy,
Yeah.
all melted together in your hands because you're high vibration now, and just like it's melting. So it's just like, and when you looked at it, it formed like a bear's face. It's just the strangest thing. It's almost like an AI technology, this thing.
Okay. Yeah.
It absorbs the molecules that keep information in. You just threw it out and poured all this fire to melt it off. And this cord got, so this cord, it was a little silver cord from it going through the dome system, plugged through it, going into the center of the universe to the Zeus.
Mm.
And the Zeus has the platform, and it's like it has cords connected to it. So basically, different people connected to that platform to give energy to it.
Okay.
So
So gone.
yeah, yeah, you took it out, just throw it out. The cord is like melted away, almost like got burnt up. Black. It's a good thing to actually check, because what happens when people wake up. So basically, all of us, we have like a little silver cord
Yeah.
connected to the dome,
Yeah.
and that supplies the energy to the dome to keep it going.
Yeah.
But then once you wake up, a lot of people just burn it up by themselves. They
Okay.
just want to get disconnected. They have this willpower and focus of attention to do it.
Yeah.
But other people just need more like help to do
Yeah.
it. But yours was a different place. I
Yeah.
mean,
So I
with you,
went
it's
to.
like everything is different. Yeah, it's not. It's kind of like not typical.
Yeah.
And
So.
you created this thing now. You just really like doing stuff. It's like a circus thing, like they put a plate on the finger like this and spin it. So you
Yeah.
created the purple energy, put it on the finger, put it above yourself, put it under your feet, and made them spin, and they're spinning like a carousel, creating um like rays, purple rays,
Yeah.
and you're just like as if you were shining with purple light above and underneath and cleansing yourself. You said, well, that's enough, I'm gonna just cleanse myself. So just
Good.
to make sure.
Yeah, because
And you like.
yesterday I was listening to Elena Danan,
Mm-hmm.
um, and she was talking. I was a channeling from a while ago, speaking to, I can't remember who she was, but she was talking about color, and purple was the color of your consciousness.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, like the color the highest color to connect to as your consciousness.
Mm.
Was like green was healing, um, blues were like different energies, I think, different healing energies. White is the purest form of energy, light, and
Mm-hmm.
gold was a expansion color.
Oh, interesting. I want to watch that one. I actually like her also, but I just don't
Yeah,
get a chance to watch most of the videos because I'm just busy.
yeah, yeah,
I never watched this one. Interesting.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
Well, that's the one you picked. So
yeah,
interesting. Yeah. I
yeah,
actually I love the white color. I want to see what it
yeah.
is.
Well, I've been using white as protection, but then I use a rainbow that goes through to the center of Earth and out
Mm-hmm.
for some reason.
It's a good sign. I have rainbow in my like energy too to heal people. It's apparently what
Yeah.
I brought here to Earth too. So.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah. Well, I mean that's the thing with symbols and colors and how they've been all overlaid, um, and how to kind of re-educate people in
Mm-hmm.
their true healing powers.
Yeah,
which is what
interesting.
which is what I'm trying to put out there at the moment. Not that I have a very big reach of people, but at least I'm putting it out there, and whatever happens with it happens, but it feels good to be able to really put out what I see as truth.
Yeah, it's interesting. As you were talking about it, I see like what you do at night. You leave your body and you go to, because they've done this hybridization with you, like with the clones. You
Mm,
carry this information as experience anyway in
mm.
you, and you turn into like a leopard or a wild cat, like a big, like a panther, and you would go to like low dimensions and like like scare them.
Really?
And I see the corny guys like running away scared. It's really funny. Like you were really
I
funny. You
do
have a
love
good
Black
sense of
Panther.
humor apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to experiment.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So
I just want the dark to disappear. I just want it to go away. Enough already, right?
right. Yeah, we'll feel the same. We just don't, a lot of people don't realize our imagination, that's how we create everything.
Yeah,
I mean, we
I'm
can
trying
literally.
to. Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, I had an amazing conversation with the doctor, who's very open-minded, um, and he understands all of that. It's just putting it into reality. A lot of people understand it, but they don't understand.
Your
You know?
doctor, your doctor looks like looks like a horse. Like he turns into a horse. Does he like horses? Like a brown horse, like
Oh,
literally.
maybe
Whenever
I'll ask.
you say doctor, I just see the horse.
Huh?
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe his soul is similar to kind of horse energy because horses are very strong, kind of wise creatures.
Yeah.
They give you this peace of mind.
Okay. And well, what about my partner?
Yeah, he likes to be a bird and a bat. A bat at night and a bird during the day, more like a parakeet type white bird,
Yeah.
yellow, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And you're a
cockatoo.
cat.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right. Good couple. Who's chasing home?
um, how can I connect better with him?
I know why you can't connect. He has a spider behind him. The spider has like 4 eyes, and it looks more like a crab
Yeah.
looking spider, and it comes from Mars underground cave system. It's
Ah,
connected there, and he gives them up to like 42% of his energy to just the spiders, to his family. He
yeah, because
has
he hasn't got good energy levels at all.
no, he's tired because he has like four. I see 4 eggs, like cocoons, and their little spiders come out, and like he gives all the energy to this family of spiders. There's like male, female, and the little, and they're biological. They're not AI, but it seems like the biological. I touched one, and it's like the core is biological, but inside somebody took it out, and the feeling inside is like his energy. It's
Mm,
hollow. It's hollow with his energy inside, but
okay.
looks biological outside.
Okay.
It's black. It's black with some kind of like mm, little kind of like geometrical signs on top, like big eyes. 4 big eyes each one has, so they can see like 360 type, everywhere at the same time.
Yeah. Right.
So you gave him the information. He's, yeah, it's blocked all the way on the back, lower back actually, pretty much like yours, but higher a little.
Mm,
He just took the connection out. I see the cord like ripped. It's a black cord that goes into, just kind of falls off. He has something to do with he has something to do with Mars, original Mars.
mm,
Can't really go into his energy sphere because he never gave permission, but
yeah.
he has something to do, like, oh, actually a lot to do with the history of original Mars. That's how he got connected with the spiders.
Okay.
He wanted to help there, but and he's also like this bat came for a reason,
Mm,
because I feel like one of his lives is of a bat, and he
huh,
likes like night.
yeah.
He's fascinated by the sky and stars and all this. Like he likes it at night.
Hmm.
His core is kind of like the bird is bright and daylight, and the bat is night.
Yeah.
So it was like here and
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
duality type thing. Yeah, it looks like you disconnected. You're helping him. You gave him information. It's interesting how you gave it to him. You just kind of told him like do this, and you put your hands over, and you skin to skin contact gave him information that way. So he disconnected. He's fine now. Yeah, he was in some sort of yellow strange cocoon that I feel like sometimes you would try to tell him something, he wouldn't see it your way. It's like he was it was a distorted picture. He would see like the interface, it was reality. You would see a different perspective, and they would just create this conflict type energy in between two of you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He just expanded his energy sphere and burned it up. It just fell down like tiny pieces of that cocoon.
Right. Yeah, well, I'm hoping he's gonna, feel like I do soon, sooner than later.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like it would be good if he could watch it, or we could tell him, because his conscious part, his physical self, has to understand that his
Yeah.
subconscious did something to help him out.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I don't know how.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's
because
kind of
I've,
stubborn type.
yeah. But I guess what I've learned in 14 months is, when you jump from then to now, it's very hard to explain what you
Mm-hmm.
understand to
It
someone
is,
who,
yeah. It's a
yeah,
process, right?
yeah.
It's
And I know he
takes
has to do it. Yeah, he has to do it himself.
mm,
But, whatever I can do without forcing his free will.
you know.
Mm.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but because when you cleanse yourself and you reach a certain point of understanding, your consciousness keeps growing always.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
it's like kind of, in a way, in a good way, contaminating and spreading information around you. So it touches
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
He'll,
That's how I imagine.
yeah, you push him little by little, and like little baby steps, he'll be there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you.
I really like cats, and now you're creating like black cats all over the place. Just really funny.
Black cats.
Mhm. You're just like drawing in your imagination. You show up. You're fascinating. You're fascinated how you can do it so quickly in the in the aesthetic, and it's like thought creates energy. Energy shape shifts into whatever you imagined it to be. And
Yeah, I keep telling people that.
yeah,
And I guess it's also telling yourself that, to really let it take hold.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's beautiful. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure. Well, if you want to look at somebody else, we can.
Digger, the dog. He's
Show
lying.
the.
He's lying
Show.
with.
She's lying next to. He
Yeah,
is.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, when you first said Digger, it's like I saw him first black, like a short hair, and then he turned into kind of like brownish, and then
Hmm.
back and forth, and like changing colors or something. Oh boy, sorry about the noise.
That's okay.
uh, he's really interesting dog. He's a protector and the energy keeper, environment cleanser. It's like I see him as a big filter screen,
Yeah.
and the energy goes through him and he filters it out in him. And then he
Mm.
needs to rest a lot
Yeah.
to expel it, like to
Yeah.
take it
He's
out.
he's he's like super sensitive to me. And anything, if I get upset, then he's there, you know, like
He,
really just like anything.
right, like he absorbs from you whatever
Yeah,
you carry.
like the energy is connected.
Right. I see him like a frame, like a door, like a screen door, and he just
Yeah,
filters energy and information through him. And sometimes it's almost overwhelming, like I feel it's too
yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah. Like I feel for him because I feel sometimes it is too much.
Do you sleep together? I see like you lay down next to him and he like puts his paw around your shoulder and sitting
Yeah,
there.
well, yeah. I mean, he likes sleeping next to me on the floor, but he's not allowed on the bed.
It's
But the
funny.
cat sleeps with me.
Yeah. With you in your on your kind of lap on your legs there down there on your
Both.
chest.
She sort of sleeps, like I cuddle her sometimes, and then sometimes she sleeps at my back or my feet. Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, it's like whenever you need
Yeah, they're here to,
the
yeah,
energy kind of
yeah,
balance it out.
yeah.
The cat
Um,
smiles at me.
yeah, she's funny. She's got lots of character. She's kind of like a little dog, but she's a cat.
Pulls you around. She's got this a funny smile, like a human smile. It's almost like hysterical. Like I'm trying to remember which cartoon I saw this before. Like Alice in Wonderland type, like
Oh yeah,
so
like the Cheshire
smart.
cat.
Yeah,
Cheshire. Yeah, yeah. She's kind of got that. Yeah.
big face
Um.
into my face.
Oh, what about my mum?
I see layers and layers and layers and layers, like so many layers. You know, like this lollipop that looks like in a spiral that goes with
Yeah.
multiple colors. That's how I see her.
Okay.
What is this? And there's lots of bees, like zzz, like so many. What is this? And like her mind goes wild, like she's distracted by the bees in her energy sphere.
Okay.
There's some cocoon and like a wild beehive,
Hmm.
and that they all came from there. But it's this thing is AI technology,
Yeah.
and this thing is connected to, oh boy, there's like lots of them around us. There's like different type of AI. You can call them clouds or nests,
Yeah.
and they're like connected to multiple people.
Okay.
They've got like a viral cell with
Yeah.
different antennas going, connecting to different people, receptors.
Ah.
And this buzz in her head is like electrical static. It's not really bees, it's more like the waves are. You know,
Yeah.
they suck the energy out of her, and they also, by doing that and surrounding her around and being, she's like in the system connected to other people
Okay.
in the network of people
Yeah.
who get drained, and the energy goes into negative programming of the matrix. So she gets this white noise in her head or around her, and it's
Okay.
like a wall around her that sometimes it's hard to break to
Ah.
talk to her to make her understand something,
Yeah.
because it's like she's not present in her body, like her mind is separate from her subconscious.
Yeah. Okay. And with my dad, because they're both living together, and so is he part of that then?
He is, I see him like blue type of creature. I can't understand what it is. It's like I want to say it's like a fish-looking thingy. Mm, and he's stuck in a net. Let me touch. What is this? So it's like when I touch it, I feel like it's an external implant system. It's like two parts, and it puts like ding, and he's inside the shell, but the shell looks like a fish. I don't know what it is about, but it's like he's been in some. He tells me that he came here as a dolphin, and another period in life as a whale to raise the vibration of Earth, and then they captured those physical bodies and destroyed them and put his soul into the artificially created container of a fish looking thing. And the tail is like connected to the system, and I see one reptilian laughing. This was like destroying the planet this way.
Okay.
And you just come there, you give him like a stick. It's made out of crystal like selenite, and you say like you can put whatever energy from you as you want and make it a magical stick or a destruction stick. If you want to destroy your shell, you touch it and destroy it, and he like touches it and it's like like explodes. And he believes you. He actually trusts you. I feel like he really trusts you. That's his subconscious.
Yeah, okay.
His conscious mind is more like very rigid type of mind, used to rules and regulations and follow the crowd type thing, like herd mentality type thing. But his subconscious really wants to kind of like to be with you type and follow you and trust you. And because his subconscious is really like 85% of understanding of consciousness, but his conscious mind is only 32%, so there's a disbalance there. And his soul is trying to knock on the door of conscious, wake up, and like.
Because he's been on that path all his, well, since I was very young. They both kind of have, but definitely him more so. So that's interesting that, because I know he understands, but there's a block where he can't see that next.
Because he has like a big, strange looking implant, almost like a very dense white calcified kind of like when you put like salt bunched up. It's right here in the third eye area. He's got like a big chunk of it stuck. And this reptilian put it in there so he can't see, he can't perceive, he cannot connect to his own self. And you like tell him to take it out. He also has like some chips in his ears, lenses in his eyes, on the back of his head, some black little triangular chip or something. And like little almost like needle type things on the back. You know what those are? Those are like toxic substances that got into his body, and his body tries to put them somewhere. And it created like sticks looking needles on the back. Almost looks like a porcupine when you look energetically. And it penetrates and it affects his central nervous system. So
He's been struggling with something like that for quite a while now.
I've taken it out now. There's 25 of them. very long needles, but they're not sharp even. They're just like rounded. I see them like plastic type looking things, but they're energetic. These are implants. He's like holding them. There's so many of them. So he took eyes, ears, back, those. Something in the feet also, some little plates, square ones, right by the toes. Took those out. And the reptilian brought him some crystal type, some strange looking thing, basically like stick was a red crystal, looks almost like a flag on the boat. I don't know what it is, and it moves. It actually, it's like it has the ability to control his emotional state.
Yeah.
So whatever it goes, and then it creates certain pattern of, he has basically in his mental body like patterns and patterns of thoughts, and that the emotions would kind of hook into or tap into his thought pattern, and they were just like in his head like non-stop, and he would get agitated because of that.
Yeah, right.
Just cleansing this. You gave him a big brush, like the one that they use for the car.
For what?
Like you gave him a huge brush, like yeah, like this, like
Yeah,
cleansing the
like
dust. Yeah, like was the wooden handle.
a dustpan and brush.
He's really laughing at the whole thing. I don't even know what he understands what he is doing, but he's having fun. Yeah. Well, he says that he feels better without the. He's not a porcupine anymore.
Huh.
He threw that out into the portal, and you said that you can create a shower and cleanse yourself that way, and from head to toes, and so he did. Your mother
Yeah.
is so funny. She created like sticky type of tape, and she did like vortex of it, and she
Yeah, to get
said
rid of.
of your bees, but they're
Yeah.
not really bees. It's like little particles of white noise created by this
Yeah.
egregore type system, AI technology.
Huh.
And it's the weirdest thing. It's like one person has multiple holographic images of that person, much like your lives were.
Yeah.
And the whole, it's like a mess. And she was in this a mess, seeing all these eyes and people and holograms, and constantly distracted, and she could not focus her attention on waking up basically, or connecting to her soul. It was all this white noise. So that's why it was kind of hard. And in between her and him, it's
Yeah.
like a wall of misunderstanding, because they were always
Yeah.
attacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Are
they're
they
more
going to
like
be?
calm. Well, yeah, I think the soul now, each of their essences has more connection to the rational part,
Yeah.
and they can just like communicate better.
Okay.
So I feel like there's gonna be more progress going on.
Great. My brothers and sisters, I've got 4, but you don't have to.
Just pick like one by one, because I
Okay.
see them. They came when you said.
So my brother in England,
Mm,
he's probably the most awake.
blue transparent body.
He
Um,
has hearing disability. which has hindered him a lot. And he's very stubborn.
But there's this thing I see though. He's got like a handcuff and a rope connected to it, and he's like, and there's a crocodile, like literally like a normal crocodile,
Yeah.
connected to it, and he's like dragging him.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch of reptilian crocodile hybrids behind that crocodile. He's like an implant who is always makes him lag behind his ideas, his desires,
Yeah.
for life, and he always feels like he's a loser or
Yeah.
he's like not completing the task.
Yeah. Yeah. He's stuck in a cycle that I feel like he's about to free himself from. Um,
He really
yeah.
wants to. He's very
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yeah.
Um, you're just giving him a balloon, and you say that you can become as light as this balloon. Just take all the layers. He has like 5 layers of different. Imagine like somebody put you in the plastic, transparent plastic bags, 5 of them. That's what I see him. I don't even see his face much because he's all layered over.
Yeah.
And all these layers are they're doing like it's like for reading his energies, for research that these hybrids are doing, but also for taking his energy, not only the reading the emotions and mental states, but also taking the 57% of his energy they would take most of the time.
Yeah.
And that's where the creative capacity of his goes all the time
Yeah.
to them. So he just kind of like cut them with the scissors and open up and threw them into the portal and took this handcuff open and they threw out the crocodile. But when he was throwing him, he turned into this ancient looking lines with a big like tongue. That's how I saw it. Was it like the hair on it? It was like curly. Like they draw on some statues. Kind of weird thingy. So he got rid of all of this and he took off the shoes. It's like heavy metallic shoes. Those are implants to keep him stable, stuck. He
Yeah.
took them out off of his feet. Threw them out. Big book of lives too. He threw out that one. He like burned it first and then threw out the ashes. But I feel like he had more than 300 lives, like a lot of them. He's very wise. That's why they layered him over, because he would have been like very advanced and everything if he didn't have those implants.
Yeah. Yeah, because I understand that part of him, and yet there's this other part which is completely disabled.
Mm. No, he's light as a balloon, as the one you gave him now.
Good.
He's very blue energy, light, like air, pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, who else? The another brother.
Um, my brother in Indonesia.
He's flying on a helicopter and airplane. He's been in different wars, missions, things like that. And I see him in military uniform. Some underground facilities also, something like this. He's got ties to military. He's got substances in his body. It's like clusters of some chemicals bunched up together, almost like forming like It's like gel-like substances in his lymphatic system, but it's like clusters of it,
Mm.
little pieces. That's from the parallel lives as a military.
Okay.
He has some connection here too that would take his energy. He's been abducted and things like that. Like I feel a lot of heavy stuff related to the secret space programs and stuff like that in him.
Okay.
Just give him the book of information. And you said you don't really have to read it. You just absorb the information through your hand if you want. And he's kind of like his slow motion. He looks at you. Oh yeah, I see him in this dark uniform. Yeah, there's clones and things. He's really hard time accepting the information, but he says that he'll take it, he'll read it. He like puts it in his desk. He has an office, and it's under the ocean floor, military base. Yeah, he puts it in his desk. He has double, kind of like the one that nobody knows. So he's gonna read it. He's talking to somebody in charge. I just see like the bright yellow golden type kind of on the shoulders he's talking to in the gray uniform, like dark gray. Yeah, he needs time. What came to me is like 5 months to unpack the information.
Yeah.
Because you can't really be pushy with him. He'll just refuse it. He still doesn't really rationally he's not there yet.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Yeah. Some people are just not ready, so just kind of their process.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
said the sisters, right?
Yeah. So Moana, so she's nearby.
Mm. Well, I see like very interesting. First I saw a dolphin, but I think she likes animals because I see a dolphin, then I see a deer. It's like she comes from a world of I see her like on a planet. She shows me little gnomes, but they're green gnomes, green looking gnomes. They're made out of leaves. It's like when you look, it's almost like somebody molded leaves from the trees and made like a short gnome. She said she's a keeper of knowledge in their forest there. She says that she has a hard time accepting her body here. She doesn't want to be here. She wants to be separated. Evil Hundals, Hundals. Some giants came and took a lot of their village keepers and made them incarnate on Earth because the giants lost their like spiritual part connection.
Yeah.
Became robotic inside, needed energy. The
Mm.
giants are funny looking things. They look like trees, but they're walking trees. Yeah, it's like those giants live together with them on the same planet. They were supposed to be in symbiotic relationship, but then got disconnected because they got infected with some stuff. I see there's some like it's almost like worms coming through the atmospheric layers, and the grays are putting them, and they're eating up the atmosphere and getting through, and they on top of the trees. They they contaminated the trees, and the trees started like getting losing its essence, like they ate out
Mm.
up the
Yeah.
energy,
All
the
the
essence
energy.
of the soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange, like it's like AI technology or something. Hmm, that's what she says. So I see a disconnect in between her subconscious and conscious.
Mm.
So basically, it's like she doesn't want to be in her physical body.
Yeah.
That's what she says. So you're just talking to her now, telling her that it's just for a lifetime. She says she's been 5 lives here. She just doesn't like it, and um, so there are grays involved and there's giants. So basically, grays put her soul on a program, keeps
Mm.
incarnating over and over again without any break in between the lives.
Uh,
Um, it's like a
so
disc.
what's the purpose of them doing that to her?
I see like two rings like this, and there's just like a plates one, and it's a structure. It's like energetic program type implant right into the heart area,
Mm.
like here, but it's
Mm.
mostly like in the center of the chest, really.
Mm.
You're showing it to her that it just like it breaks the connection between her and the soul.
Yeah.
And the soul doesn't really do much about it because it doesn't want to be in the body anyway, because this experience is not interesting. She's
Yeah.
been through this dimension is eighth dimension. For her, third is like a big drop
Yeah.
in consciousness. Not interested.
Yeah.
So you're just saying that you can just take it out and enjoy life and create your own dimension within this dimension. You can create a pocket of different reality in this reality because yours is going to be biological. This is artificial. You take
Mm.
the biological part, focus on it, expand it, and live in it, like a
Yeah.
pocket of reality.
Yeah.
And she said, "Okay, I'll try, but I have so like not enough energy." And you tell her that you just take the implant out that takes your energy and disconnect. And and then you tell her that you can go back to the planet, just like what you did.
Mm.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, you actually erase them. It just happens automatically. What soul does, it goes back to where, remember, you got like ships together, got sucked in,
Yeah.
you eliminated that moment as if nothing ever happened like this.
Ah.
You changed the timeline.
Yeah.
So whenever you're out of this body, you decide to live it. You're not going to
Yeah.
be sucked into the ship and controlled by them anymore because
Ah.
you're clean and timeline is changed, so you're free. The same thing you showed to her that she can do that too,
Yeah.
and she kind of follows that. She basically puts she tells everybody all the gnome green gnome creatures,
Yeah.
and they just put like it looks the same, like the leaves overlapping and creating like a shield of protection around the planet, and they just shield themselves from the grays so they can never release that warm AI technology. to contaminate the giant trees. So they continue living inside the trees like in symbiotic relationship with the trees on the planet's essence.
Yeah.
And happy. And she said, well, she's gonna be walking into the body now. There's no more disconnect. But she's also said that she's gonna spend a lot of time on her planet because she likes it.
Yeah, good.
And she's gonna bring some ideas into here in this planet because it's changing also.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Metamorphosis.
she's studying environmental science.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she's in a perfect position to bring new information.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Well, she's good now. She saw everything.
Good. And the last one, if you have time,
Mm-hmm.
is Meryl, the youngest.
Just like my youngest Muriel. Meryl.
Meryl, yeah.
M-E. Yeah.
Meryl.
I saw a big flower unfolding, like a yellow in the middle and white petals unfolding, and there's little like it's like a little humanoid. Looks like fairy, but not a fairy. Looks like a dragonfly, but not quite. Humanoid body with the wings like that.
Mm.
In the flower planet.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of
She's
flowers.
like a flower.
Yeah, it's a planet with lots of flowers, without
Really?
the stems. I don't
Huh.
see stems and I don't see grass. It's totally different. It's like somebody, it's the energies are, it's like it's created out of different kinds of, like a vortex of energy that gives birth to other ones.
Mm.
And they all spread and spread and spread. They look like flowers, but flowers are spinning. And it's like a completely energetic planet. Um, and there's just little people with wings. They look like dragonflies
Huh.
living on it, and it's all yellow and white. Everything is yellow and white. And these people are greenish, green wings, but white body, transparent white body, which blends into the flower, so you don't really see it.
Mm.
Camouflage type thing, mimicry.
Mm.
What is this for? This, she says, these planets like that are much smaller than others, and they're needed for balancing out the energies in the universe.
Mm.
So if one planet is destroyed, they move. It's more like a star. She corrects me. We're not a planet. We're a star, and they move to that location to generate more energy and fill out the hole in the universe with their energy. Where planet was exploded, when they exploded or burned up, or
Mm.
something happened to a planet. Some of them, she says, they just dissolve and turn into meteorites. And she's showing me a face of a draconian face that they like to destroy planets like that. They like to.
Mm.
Um, she said right now they cannot do it anymore. They
Okay.
locked the system in. They can only infiltrate them the way they did it with Earth,
Yeah.
but they cannot explode them anymore like they did with a lot of planets before.
Huh.
No bombs anymore used.
Mm.
Yeah, different types of them too. But yeah, that's what they do. They're just like energy generators.
Yeah.
So she's very fragile, sensitive, little.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's easy to program her. It's hard for her to adapt.
Yeah.
She has hard time also.
Yeah.
It's almost like, she has this constant like a victim mentality or suffering type. Um,
Mm. There's something like that going on. She
like the
doesn't
wind
talk very
blows
much.
in this direction, she goes in this. The wind blows in that direction, she goes with that. It's hard for her to be strong and have this focused intention type.
Mm.
And because she gets influenced by other energies so much.
Okay. Yeah. I
And
mean, she
she's,
always goes, sorry.
yeah, sorry, she like absorbs the energy, and the energy of suffering from all around, she suffers
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah. 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 And she's always, well, she's always very busy.
Mm,
Like she's created it to not stop and
yeah.
be.
Yeah, there's just like this emergency ambulance of the universe type thing. I can't. It's just, the help is needed, and she's there running. It's
Yeah.
an interesting thing. It looks like an energy star, but it keeps moving throughout the universe.
Hmm.
Different locations, spreads out energy, gives away energy, and yet moves to another spot. You know?
Yeah. She's very strong. But then, yeah. But then I feel she needs,
Direction.
maybe, I don't know.
It's like she's constricted in her movement. It's like you put a strong animal into a cage, and that animal loses it with time.
Yeah. 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 She's always moving.
Well, moving like that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you gave her the package of information.
Huh.
You like gave her like bouquet of flowers. They look very interesting, like beautiful flowers. Not from
Mm.
Earth, different colors, very multi-dimensional type of looking flowers. And she's just enjoying them, touching them, smelling the aroma. She says that's out of the world. It's
Mm.
like a vanilla smell with rose smell mixed with other
Huh.
delicious smelling it now too. Yeah, well, she really appreciates your help, she says. She really, she says she has hard time expressing herself a lot of times with you and with others also.
Yeah.
But she's more telepathic. That's why, like words for her, are more mechanical. She doesn't want to use them.
And talking of telepathy, how can you develop it?
You just start talking to anything,
Yeah.
flowers,
Yeah.
trees, leaves, animals. They respond to you. It's like they respond to you as your own thoughts. It feels like your own thoughts, and people think, oh, I'm just thinking. No, it's not you thinking. It's them thinking into your head with, and
Yeah.
it appears as your thoughts. The same thing like in trance like I'm right now. If I didn't know that imagination is the tool my soul uses to tell me things, I would think
Yeah.
it's just my imagination. But it's a
Yeah.
program they put in your head. Don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So just do it
yeah.
as
Mm,
practice.
practice, yeah.
And tarot cards, I've been using them as kind of like, I feel like I'm connecting to source and I can ask a lot of questions through them. Is that?
Yeah, it's your physical portal to your own soul's essence, and your soul's essence connected to your bigger you, your higher self or source or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And it's just a physical something in your physical hands that you
Yeah.
put your energy in and connects through. It doesn't matter what you take. You can
Yeah.
take cards or crystals,
Yeah.
anything. You
Yeah, because
channel your own self.
yeah, because I've got runes and I've got a pendulum which I haven't used yet really. But
Mm,
yeah, I feel like I understand that I can connect to anything. It's just the tool that I enjoy the most, I guess, at the time.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, as long as you don't call on spirits or
No, no. Oh, well,
archonic
I
angels or
always,
anybody,
yeah,
to help you. Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're connected to your true own self with it,
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
good.
That's what I make sure I'm always connected to.
Yeah, that's perfect. You can use anything you want.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm, is it all?
It's getting so late there.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I don't know
Are
time.
the
Is it about 2 hours maybe?
yeah, two and to nearly 2.5.
Oh, 2:16. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. Thanks. So I can turn
Thank
up the
you.
recording, right?
Yeah.
Uh,